Happy Sunday, mid-June. It's Happy Father's Day today.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the nation.
All you Baba fathers out there, Happy Father's Day. We wanted to talk. One of the things that really distresses Jen and I week to week, because we are heavy consumers of social networking sites like YouTube and Facebook, is the financial problems that many would-be trans girls encounter, and many trans girls do, and would-be ones and actual ones encounter. And a lot of times I gotta honestly say, we're really surprised at some of the money management or mismanagement things that occur out there. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
When you think of transition and you think of, like, you went all the way to gender confirming surgery and all that stuff required money, and yet I see a lot of people that will talk about, that they want to have this and that done, but you got to wonder how they're going to get it accomplished in their present situation. So my idea, is there a way that a girl can still be transgendered and on the cheap, and live and express her wanting, her desire, or her recognizing that she needs to be female in a male body? I mean, what do we tell these people that have this kind of problem? I mean, what's the best advice you can give these people that don't have any money, that don't seem to have the ability to save a dollar either? And
well, I know somebody now for 6 years that is living on disability due to depression, and is literally just wandering around the country, moving every 6 months, moving to a different place, and moving again. And I remember this person 6 years ago saying, I'm a transgender girl, I need to transition, but I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, but also isn't willing to see a therapist because of the attitude. It's none of their business what's going on in here.
You can see it's like punching a wall, and you just don't move forward. So the result is, you get on sites like Facebook, and of course you're frustrated, and you put these frustrating posts out that, I hate my life, I hate myself, I hate my family, I can't move forward. The only person I can depend on is me. And a lot of times I just think to myself, you're just in a vicious, you got to do something to break that circle. And the aliens aren't going to come from outer space and do that. It's got to come from within here. And a lot of that has to do with recognizing what you are, standing up for what you are, and making moves to start at least trying financially to get the wherewithal so that you can move forward with counseling, get on hormones, and take care of things like looking female, clothing and hair and makeup. All that stuff takes money and it takes time, and I'm afraid sometimes if you just sit in a room and you just rail against how bad everything is, it doesn't help you ultimately move forward, and a lot of times I think it pushes you into a worse place.
We've seen specifically on Facebook, a lot of the trans girls live on fixed income. They complain about not having money for anything in the transition. But then when you look at their pictures that they post, 72-inch TV, a new Xbox. I got a brand new iPhone 5S. I went to the salon and got my nails done. I went to the hair salon and got my hair done. It cost $200.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, are you really transgender? Are you just playing at being a girl? Because I contrast that with your situation where you were really driven and motivated to get to the point where you could get your surgery and be done and move past the transgender issues. And I see other girls just stalled and stalled. And they're no better financially off than you were when you were working all your jobs and stuff like that. So I wonder, you know, do they really are they truly transgender, or is it just, you know, wanting to dress up once in a while and show a feminine side?
I think that there's a psychological phenomenon here. Some people are unhappy in their lives, probably even depressed, and in most cases that we've seen so far, those people are depressed because one day they'll post, "I'm super happy." 5 minutes later, I hate everybody. I mean, just outrageous postings. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, anyway, what can you tell these kind of people that post that up?
These people are seeking happiness. Okay, so when these people come onto YouTube and then they see success stories like you and me and some others that have successfully transitioned, then they go, "Oh, wait a minute, if I do that, I will be happy like they are. Maybe you're not transgendered.
Yeah,
maybe you're just seeking happiness, or you're seeking happiness in the wrong area." Maybe.
I've reached a point in my studying and all those things that I see on the social network where I really believe there's grades of being transgender now. Like you would put Jen at like a grade 10 because she just put her head down. She denied herself any sort of spending money on anything that would take away from her SRS. So totally driven to do that nothing would have stood in your way. Not money, not MS, nothing would have stopped you from doing that. And, you know, I put myself maybe to 7, where I've reached a point where I'm happy, you know, psychologically to be, and I don't feel like pushing forward anymore. Yet I want to live life as a, you know, as a woman. And, but then I got people that, you know, they do periodic makeups and put-up jobs and things, and they just seem very unhappy because I don't think they're really clear about what they are or where they are. And it points up the whole need that Jen always pounds the table about. Counseling, counseling, counseling. So many people think counseling is a waste of money, but you may not be transgendered at all. Like Jen was saying, you might be depressed, the Walter Mitty syndrome, like you want to live a life of somebody else, you know, that you hate your life so much that you just want to put on a totally 180-degree different face and go out in the world. Maybe you're starved for attention and you think if you get in the female role, you're going to get so much more attention than you got as a guy. It's going to be the solution to your social phobias and things. But it's not really the solution, is it? It's not. You can't escape it.
It's not the answer.
Everybody thinks you go to a therapist and you're automatically going to get that letter. But the reality is, I wonder how many people go into counseling and the counselor says, "I don't think you're transgendered at all. I think you have this going on or that going on."
Right.
But if you don't go into counseling, you're never going to. Well, I don't want anybody to tell me that I'm not a girl. Well, sometimes somebody has to boot you in the head with a little bit of reality. Sometimes it might end up saving your life because we see this cycle of frustration that is horrible to watch, and it tears us up, and we get girls writing us about this and that, and what can I do, and you know, I'm living at mom's house and I got a dress at the bus station and
change clothes. Yeah, if you're not true to yourself, then you're not true to anybody else. And we've seen now several people that live with their parents and they are at home still living as a guy, even though they say, "I'm living full-time as a girl," but has to then sneak out basically girls' clothes and then change at the bus station to go to the meetings and everything.
yeah, there was two girls, and I used the quotes and girls in quotations in Tennessee, and one of them, the older one, I just think is on their way to California now, and I think her former life was so bad And it was so screwed up between cross issues of homosexuality and being a pastor and all that, that she just did this 180-degree like turnabout to be the total polar opposite of anything that she was before. Liberal. I mean, this was a Baptist minister, so became liberal and claims now to be transgender without benefit of counseling or anything. This is a really game that could get you into a lot of trouble because you're not really addressing some of the psychological issues at the root. And a lot of times, I hate to say, this is why I think some girls end up, jumping and suicides and things like that, because they expect to find this happiness in living like the life that we live, and then they get it, and it's not all shits and giggles and cupcakes and smiles. It's like they're in the same deprived social place that they were before, and now they're in a worse situation because they may have family against them, employers against them, and it's just a really bad road to go down.
Well, those two in particular, one has advocated the other one, and the other one basically followed into the footsteps of the first one, and basically lost her job, family collapsed, friends, everything collapsed, all in one day, turned into a epic proportion disaster. And they're living now and saying both that they are transitioning, but neither one is seeing a therapist. They're both self-medicating, and just putting on a dress is not getting it.
And it's putting on an image of happiness and stuff, and then at other times, terrible. I'm meeting with lawyers, and well, this is all self-inflicted stuff. I mean, it becomes on Father's Day, it's very important to talk about the priorities that you have in life, and there's a right way to come out to your family, and not somebody else pushing you. Go be all you can be, like a Marine. You do stuff the right way, and you respect your partner, and you say, this is the issue I got going on, and so you don't find yourself in these terrible situations. And I know we did the upload before about cheerleading and things, and transgender idiots, and I'm just afraid that we just see over and over again, week after week, these cases, and they write us. And what can we tell these people except you've got to get counseling and you've got to see what's going on?
There's also a group of people that consider themselves trans girls that are for years mingling in the gay community with gay guys. And when you do that, okay, when you have been mingling in the gay community for 5, 6, 10 plus years, and you start transitioning and you get SIS, I can promise you the gay community will drop you like a hot potato, because you're no longer a guy that's gay and matches into the gay community. You will then be a girl, and you no longer belong. And be prepared for a shock. I've seen now.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Particular cases where they are not aware of what they are going to be looking at.
You don't fit the attractive profile anymore of what originally.
Right. You jump that mold of being a gay guy into a transgender thing, which is still accepted by the gay thing, but once you get that SIS, then you're done. You are a girl, and it's over.
And I'm going to suggest something that helped me, that even before I ever sought counseling, and if anybody remembers the uploads on some of the other channels and stuff we did, I was trying to transition and start in China, and it was very difficult in Hong Kong and China to get counseling. But one thing that really was an accidental thing that worked in my favor was, because there was no gender counselor per se over there, my first initial meeting was with a general psychologist, okay? And the general psychologist assessed my situation and yet said, yes, it looks like you do have some, I know a little bit about this. And from what you're telling me and the way you're exhibiting and answering my other questions, yeah, I think you should seek out a gender counselor to talk about this. In other words, a general psychologist and then down to the gender counselor. Because so many girls are depressed out there. So many girls are upset that if they could get their lives straightened out, I doubt if they would ever go down the transition trail a lot of times, because they're happy living in that neverland of not really moving forward. So we want to do everything we can to support, but it's frustrating to see some of the mail that comes in and some of the channel comments. How can we be happy in this? Well, that starts by doing things the right way. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4. It's not going to equal 5, no matter how many times you try to re-add it. You can cut corners, shake up the recipe, try to substitute ingredients, do this and that, but at the end of the day, you're just fooling yourself on a lot of these issues. We care about everybody out there, we do, and we have a lot of friends out there, and people we work and talk to and communicate with. So just gave us a chance to stay our little piece. I think every Sunday we try to sort of address a serious topic. Other times we're living life and having fun, but we do have times when we see things repetitively when we do want to talk about it. So for me, the Rosie Girl, I want to thank you for being along tonight and watching.
Thank you for watching.
Missy, Jen, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more adventures coming.
That's right.